Oh, hello there. I didn't see you because I was reading. After the success of Clone Wars and Rebels, Resistance has been deemed an unworthy successor by much of the fandom. It has skewed slightly to a younger audience, but is it worth your time? Let's find out today. I'm Jerry Cable, I'm the Canon Junkie. Let's punch it. Let's punch it. So, the question today, is Resistance for kids? Well, technically it is a cartoon made for younglings, so yes, it is for kids, but is it just for kids? You know, many people, if you remember, had the same problems with Clone Wars and Rebels first seasons. It's too kiddie. It's way too cartoony. Why is everything so bright and colorful? There's too much joy in my Star Wars. Why is no one decapitating anyone? I don't enjoy breakfast cereals. Why is no one decapitating anyone? I like my Star Wars with a lot of blood, a lot of sex, a lot of nudity. Also a lot of swearing. Because that's Star Wars. It burns good. The pattern that has emerged with Lucasfilm Animation shows is that they're very good at growing with their audience, while giving plenty of delicious lore and world-building nuggets for the rest of us more seasoned Star Wars nerds. And Resistance is no exception. So now, back to the question that started this whole thing. Is it worth your time? So today, one time only, and I guess any other time you click play on this video, I'm going to give you count them three, good reasons why you shouldn't underestimate Resistance. Number one, the animation is amazing. It's beautiful. I was on social media the other day, which was probably already a bad idea, and I saw a comment on someone's post about Resistance that said they just haven't been able to get into it because the animation is terrible. And my immediate thought was I wanted to jump in there and go, what are you talking about? But I had to pull myself back and not nerd all over this person. Quite honestly, art is subjective, and that goes for movies and animation. I couldn't help thinking about one of the more recent episodes, Bebo. And I know you're thinking, what? Bebo? But if you watch the show, you know what I'm talking about. There is a shot where, okay, quick synopsis. Neeku, who is a lovable Nikto and one of Kaz's best friends, who is, quite frankly, the Drax of Star Wars. Nothing goes over his head, he would catch it. He finds this adorable and yet stinky, tiny little monster, keeps it as a pet, and it turns out the mom is a giant Phantom Menace-style sea monster. There's a shot where the sea monster is coming up over the edge of the landing platform where Neeku is standing, and the water droplets are coming off of it. And for a second I thought I was looking at a living painting. It was gorgeous and beautiful, and this is probably one of, honestly, the best Lucasfilm Animation projects to watch in 4K or HD. It is so crisp. Chef's kiss. Excellent job, guys. But seriously, take a look on Google. Just go ahead and open up Google and look up some of the screenshots that people have taken from this show. There are some gorgeous vistas, especially when they do panoramic establishing shots of the Colossus and of the sea around it. It's just gorgeous, some of the shots that they've made on this show. But I encourage you, go take a look here compared to the other Lucasfilm projects. And quite frankly, it's different. I think they each need to be different and stand out on their own. Also, the environment effects are super realistic. Like I was talking about the sea monster at the beginning. The drops look so real, at least in the animation, their movements. The way shadows play, it's just gorgeous. You need to do yourself a favor and let your eye holes take in this glorious eye candy. Number two. Resistance is probably one of the first pieces of Star Wars media to blend the prequel, original, and sequel trilogy aesthetics together flawlessly. Just look in the first episode, you've got X-Wings, you've got a blockade runner from the original trilogy era. You've got aliens from the Phantom Menace, from Attack of the Clones. There are members of the Alien species, there are pit droids, old school astromechs, Ithorians, Rhodians, Abenitos. That's Eloasti, or the cow-looking guy that flies the X-Wing in Force Awakens, if you're needing a little refresher. Also Slow from The Last Jedi, and also the guy that Poe talks to about Admiral Holdo and goes, Yamcha, Yamcha, Yamcha. That guy. You've got a female version of Unkar Plutt. Actually, it's very weird and convoluted. Apparently, the female of... there is no female of the... But apparently there is no female version of Unkar Plutt. It's a completely different species it's Star Wars. Now I want my Star Wars to be scientifically accurate! Star Wars logic! Why are physics weird in Star Wars? Sorry, don't know what came over me there. Better. Where was I? Oh yeah, all the different species that are running around the Colossus. Just seriously, look them up. You also have Clone Wars era crafts that were in the Clone Wars animated show. It's amazing. You also have... there are pirates that have cobbled together Imperial starships into this mismatch of amazingness, and they wear mismatched pieces of Imperial tech and armor. It's fantastic. The Guavian Death Gang. I never thought I would be so excited to see the Guavian Death Gang no-face guys show up. It's amazing. They look so good in the show, too. Just the animation, again, go see #1. It's been such a joy every week to watch this and see things from throughout the entire span of the saga pop up into this one little cartoon that everyone marks off as silly. Seriously, Star Warsy goodness to the max. And finally, we come to #3. You shouldn't underestimate Star Wars Resistance because it is helping to fill in the gaps of what is happening in the larger galaxy during the sequel trilogy era. We're just now, because we're winding down to the end of the sequel trilogy, coming to the time when they're starting to fill in the gaps of that 30-year period of what happened between the original trilogy and The Force Awakens. How the galaxy at large views the First Order. And it is interesting because they're almost like, oh, well, there's that group over there that kind of like worship, you know, the old space Nazis, but they're okay. We'll let them come in and take our fuel. It's okay. It ain't no big deal, right? Right? They name drop some sketchy stuff that Kylo Ren is up to before The Force Awakens. They show the dealings of what the First Order is doing to slowly wrap their tentacles around the galaxy and take control. They're slowly positioning their chess pieces all across the board. It's just so beautifully done. Chef's kiss. Also, Oscar Isaac guest stars on the show multiple times, and it's fantastic. Who doesn't want more Oscar Isaac in their lives? Seriously, Poe is one of the best parts of this show when he shows up. The person who they got, last minute mind you, to play General Organa, Princess Leia, she'll always be royalty to me. She does a wonderful job. Also, if you think it's too kiddie, it's about to get real because we saw in the mid-season trailer that happened, you know, earlier this year, that we're going to see the destruction of Hosnian Prime. We're going to run full on into the events of The Force Awakens in this season. By the end of this season, Hosnian Prime will be destroyed. Spoiler alert, you find it out in the first episode. Kaz's dad lives on Hosnian Prime. That's where Kaz is from. It's about to get real. That's cold. So, there you go. Those are my 3 reasons why you should not sleep on Resistance. Seriously, guys, you gotta go out and check out this show. And, luckily for a lot of you, most of the show is aired. There's only like, I think 4 episodes left. And then we anxiously await Celebration and the announcements that are going to come there and all the books and comics and shows and the second season of Resistance and then episode 9 and The Mandalorian and all of these things that are going to come out for the rest of the year. If you've been on the fence about this show, give it a chance. Since most of it is aired, I think it is a much easier binge. You can kind of get through most of the episodes, watch a big chunk of them, and get a lot of Star Warsy, just delicious content. So seriously, guys, check it out. Guys, do you agree with my reasons? What are some of yours? Let me know in the comments. hopefully I'm going to be able to put a lot more content out for you guys very soon, at least be more consistent with my videos. So, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and give me a follow on Twitter if you want, @JunkieCanon. I'm Jerry Cable. I'm the Canon Junkie. May the Force be with you.